Aesop's Fable EP19, The Diligent Ant and the Coming Storm. Scene 1, The Busy Ant Hill. In a bustling meadow, where the sun shone brightly and the flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, there was an ant hill that buzzed with activity. The ants worked tirelessly every day, collecting food and storing it in their underground chambers to prepare for the winter. Among them was an ant named Andy, who was known for his dedication and honesty in fulfilling his duties. Andy took his job seriously. Every morning, he set out early to find the best grains, seeds, and small crumbs to bring back to the ant hill. He knew that every bit of food he collected would help the colony survive when the cold weather arrived. While some ants grumbled about the endless work and occasionally slacked off, Andy remained focused, never shirking his responsibilities. One day, as Andy was carrying a large seed back to the ant hill, he overheard a group of younger ants chatting and laughing nearby. "Why do we have to work so hard?" one of them complained. "The weather is perfect, and there's plenty of food everywhere. Let's take a break and enjoy ourselves for a while." Andy paused for a moment, tempted by the idea of resting and having fun. But he quickly reminded himself of the importance of his duty. The weather may be nice now, Andy thought, but it won't stay that way forever. We must be prepared for whatever comes. With that, Andy continued on his way, determined to keep working and fulfilling his duty to the colony. Scene 2, The Warning Signs. As the days passed, the weather began to change. The sky, once clear and blue, grew darker, and the wind picked up, rustling the leaves in the trees. Andy noticed these changes and felt a sense of urgency. "A storm is coming," he thought. "We need to work even harder to gather enough food before it hits." But when Andy returned to the ant hill, he found that many of the ants were not taking the situation seriously. Some were lounging around, chatting, and playing games, while others were only half-heartedly gathering food. "Come on, everyone!" Andy called out to his fellow ants. "We need to keep working. There's a storm on the way, and we have to be ready." But some of the ants shrugged off his warning. "Relax, Andy," one of them said. "The storm won't be here for a while. We have plenty of time." Andy felt frustrated, but he knew he couldn't force the others to work. Instead, he decided to set an example. He doubled his efforts, working tirelessly from dawn until dusk, gathering as much food as he could. Every day, he brought back piles of seeds and grains, storing them safely in the ant hill's chambers. Scene 3, The Storm Strikes. A few days later, the storm arrived with a vengeance. Dark clouds covered the sky, and rain poured down in torrents. The wind howled, bending trees and tearing leaves from their branches. The ants, who had ignored Andy's warnings, scrambled to take shelter in the ant hill, realizing too late that they hadn't gathered enough food. Inside the ant hill, the chambers were filled with nervous ants, huddling together as the storm raged above. Andy, however, remained calm. He knew that the food he had collected would be enough to sustain the colony through the storm. As the days passed and the storm showed no signs of letting up, the ants began to worry. "What will we do if the storm doesn't stop?" one of them whispered. "We didn't gather enough food. We might starve." But Andy stepped forward and reassured them. "Don't worry," he said. "I made sure to gather plenty of food while the weather was still good. There's enough for everyone, as long as we ration it carefully." The ants were relieved and grateful. They realized that Andy's dedication and honesty in fulfilling his duties had saved them from disaster. Scene 4, The Lesson Learned. When the storm finally passed, the ants emerged from the ant hill to find the meadow soaked and the food sources scarce. But thanks to Andy's hard work and sense of responsibility, the colony had survived the storm with enough food to last until the weather improved. The ants who had ignored their duties felt ashamed of their laziness. They approached Andy and thanked him for his dedication and foresight. "You were right, Andy," one of them admitted. "We should have listened to you and taken our duties more seriously. Because of you, we made it through the storm." Andy smiled and shook his head. "We all make mistakes," he said kindly. "What's important is that we learn from them. Our duty to the colony is what keeps us strong, and we must always be honest in fulfilling that duty, no matter how tempting it is to take the easy way out." From that day on, the ants of the meadow worked with renewed determination and a deep respect for their responsibilities. They understood that their survival depended on everyone doing their part and that honesty and dedication to their duties were the keys to success. And as for Andy, he continued to lead by example, always fulfilling his duties with the same dedication and honesty that had saved the colony. The other ants looked up to him, and his story became a reminder to all of them that hard work and responsibility are the foundations of a strong and thriving community. Moral of the story: fulfilling our duties with honesty and dedication is crucial for the well-being of our community. Even when it's tempting to relax or take shortcuts, staying true to our responsibilities ensures that we are prepared for whatever challenges may come our way.